Hi everyone, my name's Jay and I am the Camden Stitch. If you don't know who I am, then a very big welcome to my channel. I used to vlog a lot. I haven't vlogged for about the last year or so, and I'm just popping on to wish everybody a very merry Vlogmas. I have been really enjoying Rachel's Vlogmas over on Stitched Up, and it's really made me miss everyone and want to come on and say hello. So I thought I'd just do a pop-up Vlogmas and just come along and give you a little bit of a life update and a sewing update, sort of tell you why I haven't been around so much. Really it's because I think a lot of you knew that I was struggling with my health, and my health deteriorated a lot. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I was diagnosed with hypermobility, and then I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and as a result I lost a lot of my cognitive ability, and what that meant was that I've been really struggling to speak and put a string of coherent sentence together basically. And I have recorded so many vlogs that I've just had to go back and delete, and obviously I haven't put any of them out. None of them have been any good because they're just basically me going and yeah, so I did this and you know, they're just like, you know, 20-second pauses all the time. It's just very frustrating to film and even more frustrating to watch. Obviously I can edit them, but there's no point editing just kind of rubbish, you know, if you can't speak coherently in the first place, it's no good. So I've thought so many times about coming on here to make this vlog, and then hearing Rachel talk about her experience of sort of menopause related brain fog made me think, okay, well, maybe mine could be related to the menopause. I'm certainly starting to go through the menopause, there's no doubt about it. My periods are getting closer together and heavier and everything. Although I did relate this to my fibromyalgia, it could be related to the menopause, but it seems like it's become quite a serious problem for me. So for instance, I was thinking about going back to uni, and I had to do an interview for it, and it had become such a serious problem that it was actually a risk that, like, I was studying for a PhD in sociology, and it had got to the point that there was a risk that during an interview for a degree in sociology I would actually not be able to find the word sociology, or be able to remember terms like gender, you know, or like really basic things, or Marxism, or, you know, like really basic things. In fact, I was talking to somebody about equality law, which is like a field I used to work in, and I couldn't remember the term Equality Act, and it really upset me actually. And I came home and I was saying to Ian, I don't know what's going wrong with me, like I think I've got like dementia, because I feel like it's like whole portions of my memory are missing. It's not just like, oh, I've left my car keys in the fridge. It's not like that. Like, we all do that, and we all get scatty. It's like having absences, and at times it's been really bad. And just relating it to sewing, and actually I did stop sewing for a bit, and I stopped garment sewing for a bit, was that it got to the point with garment sewing that I made probably about, I don't know, 8 things in a row that were just all one after another after another after another, just mistakes. Just I made them wrong one after another after another, and it was like living in one of those, you know, those awful anxiety dreams where you like trying to dial the phone number and you're getting it wrong over and over again, or I don't know, you're trying to get somewhere and you can't get somewhere. That's what it's been like, because for me the most enjoyable thing about sewing is when you get in the zone and you're on a roll and you're in that flow and you're not having to consciously really think about what you're doing. And for me, what has been happening is every time I get in that state, I kind of look at my work and I've done it and it's just all wrong. I've just done stuff that makes no sense. And it just feels like, I was saying to I don't know if you know Corey, who's on Instagram, but I was saying to Corey the other day, we were talking about learning to drive, and we were talking about things that don't come easily in your brain, and I was saying that spatial things don't come easily in my brain, and I was saying I actually found it really, really hard to learn to drive, but I also found it incredibly hard to learn to sew as well. And you know, to the extent I was crying with frustration over learning to put in an invisible zip. I remember spending 2 hours trying to put in this invisible zip. By the way, it was because it actually wasn't an invisible zip, it was a visible zip, and I didn't know the difference between an invisible zip and a visible zip. I didn't know that the coils were on the inside on one and on the outside on the other, and that's why I was getting so frustrated, because the diagrams weren't matching up. But anyway, but I remember, like, I just remember being so frustrated with it. But the thing is with sewing is it's kind of worth persevering, because I knew it was something that I really, really wanted to do, and I knew that it was something that I would grasp in the end, and that the result, the outcome, would be worth it for me. And obviously it has been, and it's really changed my life, and it's just been transformative for me. And if I couldn't sew, my life would be awful. You know, I'd just be, well, I mean, I've had long periods of depression where I can't go out, and all I do is sit at home and listen to audiobooks or watch telly, and you get through it. But having that safety net of being able to create something is just absolutely wonderful, and it's always there for you, and it never goes away, and it's absolutely brilliant. And it's always there in, you can always do tiny little things. You don't have to make complicated things. You can do really, really easy things, which I'll come to in a minute. But anyway, yeah, so it was like my sewing brain just completely went to jelly, and so I just put it all on one side, and that's when I turned to quilting and learnt to quilt, because stitching things together in straight lines just seemed easier to me. And although there was kind of the spatial awareness element of some of it, in the main it's more just easier once you've got the theory that you make things in blocks and then stitch those blocks together. So you break things down to smaller components, stitch those components together, that's it. And so that's pretty much what I've been doing for the last year or so. So I'll stick a couple of pictures in of the quilts that I've been making. And I got some quilt software which is called Electric Quilt. It's not cheap, it's just under a couple of £100, I think, but it's been great for me, because when I've not been up to sewing, I've been able to design them. I've been able to design quilts from my bed, and then I've been able to make quilts. And the most recent quilt I've just sewn up which I'll pop a little picture of. It's only half of it because I'm actually going to have to quilt it in 2 halves because it's too big for me to quilt in one go, but that's one half of it that you can see there. So I've designed that one myself, so it's really nice to be able to think that you can make your own designs up and not have to follow other people's patterns. And also, you know, the one that I designed myself, it's a lot simpler than following other people's patterns as well. The squares are much bigger, so it was quicker to sew up. So that's what I've been doing really. Unfortunately, I can't show you a lot of what I'm sewing at the moment because it's all flipping Christmas presents. I don't know about you lot, but I'm really massively behind with the Christmas presents. Where does the time go in November and October? You know, you start sewing Christmas presents and then you're still, at this time of year, you're still thinking, oh God, you know, I'm going to be late posting it all. But anyway, yeah, so I'm making up Christmas presents still at the moment. And some of the people who they are for might watch this vlog, so I can't show you them. But I have gone a bit back to garment sewing lately, and my garment sewing experiences have not been too bad, just great. But I've gone from being a very kind of pushing myself garment sewist, and I used to do a lot. I basically used to try and draft everything, and I'm a very big pattern hacker, to thinking, right, those days are gone. It's time to make things as simple as I can for myself. So I've been making myself things that are as easy as possible. Well, for a start, I've been trying to sew up my UFOs because I've got a queue full of UFOs with about 40 projects in that are all cut out. A lot of them are kind of seasonal, so a lot of them are for summer. But I've just been sewing up a shirt that's really, really nice that I just finished. I'll put a picture in here of a shirt that I just finished, and it's actually a McCall's pattern, but I altered it to make it a bit more like the I Am Irma by, I think it's I Am Patterns, isn't it? Because I love that pattern, but this one was just a toile really. I've got a few things to alter about it. I want to make it a little bit longer. I downloaded a couple of style art patterns that were really, really easy and sewed them up. Kind of didn't really like the jacket that I made. I really liked it on pictures of other people, but I think my fabric choice was a bit rubbish. It's called the Bee Shawl jacket, and I shall try it on for you and you can tell me what you think. You'll have to forgive me that I've got jogging bottoms on. It's really, really cold today, so hang on. So this is the jacket. I actually lengthened it. You can see it's come out more like a sort of coating and drapey thing. I lengthened the cuffs on the arms as well. It looks a bit crap on me. I made it in a size 8 because, which is like a size 12, because these are Australian sizes. Because I thought it would be massive, but it's not. It's too small around the bottom. It doesn't come far enough around the bottom. So I don't really like the collar. It doesn't really do anything. You weren't supposed to interface it or anything. So it just sits. So every time you put it on, you'd have to faff about with it, which would annoy me. So it looks all right once you've done that, I suppose. Right, and then, okay, I know you're not supposed to wear it with a shirt underneath it. And then, hang on a minute, we need a bit more distance, don't we? So that's what it looks like just on, which to be fair, it's not too bad. I've not really tried it on with something like this, but I just don't think it's the sort of thing I would ever wear. Don't really like the way it hangs. The pockets are useless because they're in a stupid place. They're right back here, so you know you're not going to use them because the side seams are just too far back. I did see somebody had altered them and put in a seam or something. Oh, they put them in here, I think, which makes a lot more sense. But I think I'd just put patch pockets on if I was going to do that. But yeah, I need more room because it doesn't really close. Well, you can see it's miles from closing around the front. As the price. So that's that. But anyway, it was only a toile. It was just made with cheap Ponte. But anyway, it's constructed well enough, and I think I'm going to send it to my skinnier friend for a Christmas present. She looks great in this colour, so it's no waste, and it was a really quick sew. It's like 4 pattern pieces or something, so there's no problem. And the other style out pattern I made was this shirt. I'm sorry I haven't tried it on yet. But I really love it. I know a lot of people love the Wilder gown one, and I don't like the Wilder gown. It doesn't suit me, but I did try the Simplicity Cynthia Rowley one, and I made it up 3 times, and it's got this raglan sleeve that pulls in like this, and I just hate it. It just feels like it's pulling in wrongly. Like, I don't know what it is, but the way it's all pulling in from the raglan, from the neck, feels like it doesn't make it sit right on the bust. It feels like it all then bags round the bust. It feels like it all comes up in a big bag here. I think it's in too stiff a fabric, which is a shame because I love the look of the pattern on the pattern cover. But anyway, the differences with this pattern is it's not a raglan, it's a satin sleeve, but this is actually for woven, but I changed it. I made it in a knit fabric. I didn't bother using a back seam. I just cut the back on the fold and I cut it as if it was a knit top. I didn't actually sew it on my overlocker because I prefer to sew knits on a sewing machine, but I just sewed it exactly as you would a knit top, same sorts of finish. And I really like the way it looks. So that's just a toile, and this is very cheap polyester crepe type fabric. I know you can see the elastic here, but when it's on you can't see it. And I just put some little rack around the neck there. So I'll move my book. So that's been my little sewing kind of binge that I've done in the last kind of couple of weeks, which is not bad really considering I've done nothing in the last few months at all, so I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to try and stick to this principle of sewing easier things and not getting bogged down in doing complex projects that take me ages and that I get fed up on. And because I'm great at starting projects, but I'm not great at finishing them, and I do finish up with a lot of UFOs. So maybe I can try and work on that. But anyway, I thought I would just pop on and say hello to you all and just check in really, and you know, say I hope you're all sort of okay, really surviving the pandemic. And I know life's changed a lot for a lot of people. Christmas wise, we don't have anything special planned. We all do the same as we always do, which is go out for a little walk into Camden Christmas Day, go for coffee and cake if our cafe's open, which I think it will be this year. We don't think the cinema's going to be open Christmas Day because of the different rules, but Boxing Day I think we're going to go and watch The Tragedy of Macbeth, which is suitably Scottish. My housemate who I live with, if you don't know, Ian, he oh, I'm going to show you Betsy in a minute. If you have not seen Betsy the cat, I should take you to see Betsy in a minute. Yeah, my housemate Ian is Scottish, and so yeah, we'll go and see a suitably Scottish play, although it looks grim as hell. It looks very unfestive, but we might go and see that on Boxing Day. That is about all our Christmas news. We haven't trimmed up yet. We haven't been and bought our Christmas branches, which is what we're going to do instead of getting a tree, is we buy the offcuts, because we've only got a little flat, we haven't got enough room for a tree. But as soon as we do that, if I make another video, I will obviously show you what we've got. Bertha came yesterday, by the way. Obviously I haven't been making birder videos, but you're not missing much. It really hasn't been that amazing. I mean, partly I guess it's because I've been getting it a while now, and I suppose I've seen a lot of the styles come round again, but it hasn't seemed to be that amazing. But if I feel well enough, I'll make a video. The problem is I've been so fatigued that although I've filmed a lot of content, the filming of it, and especially the fact that I tend to sort of take a shower and put on makeup before I film, takes it out on me so much that I'm too tired to then edit it, so I can kind of do one but not the other. So it's, yeah, it has proved difficult to stay in the vlogging loop, and I'm really sad because it was a really good way of staying in touch with you all, and I did make some really nice vlog friends, some YouTube friends. Anyway, on that note, I wish you all a wonderful Christmas and New Year. I'm going to take you to see Betsy now. She's snoozing away in her pink chair, which I can't get rid of because it's exactly the right size and shape for her. Let's see where she is. Hang on. There she is. She's a perfect circle. Hi, Bets. Too snoozy to even. We're not even gonna get, she's not even gonna open an eye. Night night, my baby. See you soon, everyone.